Okay, so the two posters that we are seeing there, to our left is a ballet dancer slag, the calf up to the toe of the leg. You're going to see this limb is actually attached. The concept was to put a guitar together with the limb so that it looks like it's a full guitar, but that's a concept on its own. And it's saying Cincinnati Ballet. So this design is balanced, number one, and also there is contrast. You can actually see what is there. What makes the contrast possible is the gold lining on the guitar. The gold lining on the guitar and the gold dots and the tuning knobs on the guitar, they make this stand out even much more against a darker background. Okay, so that's that with that. And you can also see how the elements are placed together. Here there is the use of balance, and we talked about balance, but now in this you're seeing balance and contrast being used together to make sure that this poster looks quite good, quite nice. The use of color and all that together make the poster come out so as I've said before, that most of these elements, they overlap, they work together, and they work together to make the visual look even much more appealing. You're going to see these concepts coming back together over and over again. Okay, so we go to the right, the poster to our right. Here again, the concept is the same. We are seeing the power of contrast in that red. The red punctuation mark, that one, whether it's a comma or it's an apostrophe. I think it's an apostrophe because there is a connection between that huge apostrophe and the smaller apostrophe between I and M. So it's saying I'm possible. My impossible surfing prepared me for my photography business. It taught me it's okay to fall over a few times before finding your feet. Then there is smaller text down there. There is already contrast because there is a lot of black here. There is the highlights are gray, the lightest gray to a darker shades of gray. You can see the beard is black, and also back down there there is black, and there is this red. This red is standing out to show us the contrast, which pulls the eye towards what's in there so that we can read. The whole thing is very, very well balanced if you look at it. There is Hiscox business insurance. It's actually an insurance poster. You look at how the layout is there. The text that is here is balancing with that which is there and the one that is on the left of that same poster. Let's go to the next one. This is another one that shows contrast. Design is contrast. Contrast helps you emphasize. For sure it does. So your eye does go straight to what is important, which is our subject here, which is the guitar and the guy that's playing the guitar. But there are reds here. You can see this is good. This color is there is black and and red, and this treatment of an image of making them two colors is actually intentional so that it can tie in with the red that is down there. and the text is written in white to provide enough contrast. Look at the design is typeface. This design is typography here is an outline only, but you look at the outline is not too thin. It's actually very well thick enough, and its weight is more than maybe this line. So you see, it really works well in terms of being able to be read. You can actually read what's written there. Okay, so let's continue. This is another poster, an artistic poster. This poster probably would be used in an exhibition, for an art exhibition. You can see the typography is not really such that it can give away the message or easily read, but it's so artistic. But you can make out that it's written Picasso, and then you can see how contrast is used against orange and blue against orange against blue, and the Picasso is actually written very well here. So the idea, you can see also the balance that is there, the asymmetrical balance, and also how this falls off to this side, and there is still symmetry. Things are working together here. You can actually see, if you think at the top there is not much happening. There is this white there. The thickness of the white versus the two whites that are there are already balancing together there in the same layout. So it does really work well. Pay close attention to how color was used and how all these elements came together. So there is balance here. You can actually tell. To my left there, where this whole thing where there is a red, I still feel that there is something missing there. Here on this side, something missing. But since our poster is diagonal here, we can forget it. I think it does work with this line as well in the middle there. But normally you would put a logo or something else. You just have a feeling that there's something that is missing. Although there is not much in terms of it still works. This shows that somebody who knew what they were doing did this, and it ended where it ended, so it was fine. So these rules or the principles are meant to be broken, especially when you know how to break them. How much does your building weigh, Mr. Foster? Directed by Robert Lope. So this, you can see how contrast has made these letters look 3D by just using contrast. There is a darker gray, there is an even darker gray, and there is a much lighter gray, actually a white there, against a black background. Already it looks like a building or some sort, or whatever it is. So you look at it, it looks very well. It looks very well planned, and it looks good. Right, let's look to our right. Join us this Thursday for midweek service. I like the fact that at this point I can actually talk about how typography is typed into our artwork. This is the header copy. You can see how contrast worked here, and against with the background here and the foreground. What's happening in the front there. And then also we can see this social media handle there, which says TCN Covenant Temple Lekki. This whole thing here, they actually improvised and made sure there is a vignette. We call this a vignette when something is lighter on the middle and then it becomes darker on the edges. We call it vignette. VIGNETTE, vignette. So there is a vignette here, a darker black vignette, to make sure that there is contrast here. If they had left it just like that, there wouldn't be contrast, so it wouldn't be easy to read. So the same applies to here. You're going to see the use of drop shadows. Drop shadows is when text has got a shadow. A text has got a shadow. It's a drop shadow. Like where there is service, there you see a small shadow there. These elements are put into a design to create depth. But before we go there, let's start finishing this part. And you look at how the logo here sits there. But the weight of the design again, you see, is helped by this singing lady there. The whole visual aspect of typography here to the left of the poster or the flyer is working well with the background image here, or the foreground image here of the ladies that are singing. So eventually this works so well when we look at contrast. But look, the contrast doesn't really need to be too dramatic. Here the contrast is very subtle. It's not that radical. This is green against blue, a darker blue, and the yellows are not on the other side of the spectrum. They're actually very, very close to the greens and the color tones that we are seeing, and the yellows that are here. So everything is working well together here in this poster.